Hashtag my wife took off her ring and left it on the table. She slid the ring across the polished wood with a smirk. Simpler this way, she whispered, grabbing her purse like she was just stepping out for groceries, not stepping out of a marriage. I stared at the little circle of gold, the symbol of everything we built. And with the calmest hand I've ever had, I slipped off mine. I placed it right beside hers. "You're right," I said softly, almost tenderly. "It really does feel lighter without it." That was when she froze, her hand halfway to the doorknob. She knew. She knew who I'd been seeing. We didn't start as enemies, no. She was the girl who made me believe in fire after years of smoke. The laughter in diners at midnight, the road trips with cheap coffee and louder music, the mornings where sunlight seemed jealous of her glow. For years, I thought love was safe inside those walls we built. But walls have cracks, and she poured poison through them. It started small. Missed calls, texts she'd shield with her palm, perfume she never wore for me, lingering on her neck. I told myself I was paranoid. I told myself trust mattered. But trust only matters when both carry it. The night that broke me wasn't loud. It was quiet. Her phone buzzed on the counter while she showered. One name, him. A message that ended with, "Can't wait to see you again, tonight." My chest didn't collapse, it hardened. Pain sharpened me. The man she knew, the one who forgave, who compromised, died in that silence. What lived after was patient, calculated. I didn't confront her, not yet. You don't rush the knife before the wound is ready. I started with observation, patterns, nights out with her just friend. Lies rehearsed with such casual rhythm, I almost applauded. I tracked her, not with rage, but with precision. A GPS device tucked in her car. Bank statements cross-checked with hotel receipts. I documented everything. Screenshots, recordings, dates, times. A file thicker than our wedding album. But evidence wasn't enough. Revenge isn't just exposure. Revenge is theater. I met him, that friend, shook his hand, looked him dead in the eye, and he smiled like I didn't exist, like my life was just collateral to his conquest. That's when the plan solidified. Step 1, the finances. Quiet withdrawals, rerouting accounts. She didn't notice when I stopped depositing into the joint savings. She didn't notice the property transfer forms, disguised in stacks of mail. But one day, she'd notice everything was gone. After she was. Step 2, the affair. I let it grow, fed it. I left her the space to betray me more deeply, so when the blade turned, it cut through bone. Step 3, him. I knew things about him she didn't. His debts, his record, the ex who filed a restraining order. Information is a weapon, and I sharpened mine until it gleamed. I invited him out, just the two of us, drinks. He thought it was reconciliation. I told him stories, some true, most fabricated. Just enough to make him doubt her loyalty to him. His face shifted as the seed grew roots. Was she lying to him, too? Meanwhile, I laid my legal trap. Lawyer on retainer. Divorce papers drafted with every clause airtight. Full custody leverage, asset protection, all lined up like dominoes waiting for the first push. And tonight, this was the push. She placed her ring on the table like it was her choice, like she was leaving me behind for someone better. She thought I'd crumble, that I'd beg. But when I placed my ring beside hers and whispered those words, she went pale. Her smirk faltered, because in that instant, she realized the truth. Her just friend? My ally now. The same man she betrayed me with had already betrayed her in return, feeding me details, taking my bait, unraveling their secret under the illusion of brotherhood. She thought she'd been clever. She thought she had him. But he was mine before he was hers. She opened her purse to leave, but her keys were missing. I'd taken them hours earlier. Her phone lit up on the table. Messages from him. Scheduled, carefully timed, revealing conversations that painted her as manipulative, disloyal, and reckless. I slid the folder of evidence across the table. Her face drained as page after page screamed the life she thought she'd hidden. Bank records, hotel cameras, text transcripts, and finally, the notarized divorce papers, her signature required. "No lawyer will save you," I said, calm as a surgeon. "Everything you own, everything you thought was ours, is already gone." She stammered, reaching for words that didn't exist. Her power evaporated with every breath. The woman who once ruled my heart now sat trembling in the ruins of her empire. And him? He didn't show up for her. He never would, because I made sure he hated her just enough to vanish when she needed him most. Revenge isn't rage. Rage burns too quickly. True revenge is silence. It's the patience of watching someone dig their own grave, then handing them the shovel. When I finally walked out that door, I didn't look back. She sat alone, staring at 2 rings on the table, symbols of a marriage she destroyed and a war she lost without even realizing it had begun. Freedom tastes cleaner than forgiveness ever could. And as the night air hit my lungs, I whispered to myself, "Lighter indeed."